the people unless I am assured that they know what the hell they're talking about. And today, you know, I've got Mr. Johnny and I've got Miss Nikki. Is it Nikki?
It's Nikki.
It is Nikki? Okay, because last week it was Nakai or something like that.
No, you're talking about Anika.
Oh, Anika. Oh,
yes.
Okay, that's what it was.
You're talking about my modeling stuff, but it's okay.
The modeling stuff.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So, as you can see, they're very versed and diverse in what they're involved in. And I asked them to be my special guest today so that they can kind of give us an insight into what it is that they do. So I'm going to start with the lady first and say, tell the people about you, who you are, what you about, where you from, those kinds of things.
Okay, well, I am Nikki Walker. I am married to this man right here, Mr. Johnny Walker. We have 3 beautiful daughters, and we are up-and-coming Black excellence here in Charleston. We own 2 successful construction companies, along with modeling. I also act, and being a full-time mom and wife.
Whoa, you're pretty busy. So, Mr. Johnny,
yes, sir.
Tell the people about you, sir. Where you from, who you are, what you do, and that kind of stuff.
I'm Johnny Walker. I'm from the good old countryside, Somerville, also known as Sheep Island.
Okay.
We just here trying to make a living. We was pursued to go in business back in 2007, so we started a construction company, Just Say Win Construction, back in 2007. We do all sorts of services. We do concrete, land clearing, renovations, pretty much any service you can pretty much think of. That's why the company says Just Say Win. So you just say win, and we on the spot.
All right.
We also started a heavy industrial side, global contracting solutions, back in 2020 with the heavy equipment side. So we do a lot of site work, land clearing, pretty much everything around the board. So we just have to be available for any services that anyone need at this time.
Okay, so now we've got these various sundries of businesses all related to or in the construction business. How did you guys first derive the idea to start a construction business? What was the factor that led you to do that? I mean, you could have started a cosmetology business, you could have started a cleaning business. Why a construction business?
Pretty much in being a young man, I grew up around my dad and uncles, and I just saw the talent and the needed to carry it on. So I just picked it up and ran with it. And it was something, always utilize your hands. And the knowledge that I have as a young man, I just applied it. That way I can better, pretty much not just my family, but other young men around me also.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this, you're saying that you basically got into the construction business because it was a family business, and over time you developed an interest and then a love for doing construction. Is that how you then started your company?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, did your uncle and father have a separate company?
No, sir.
Or they were basically freelancers that was hired to do different jobs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as you observed them doing the different jobs, you thought to yourself, maybe what I might do is put it together under a business called a construction company. Is that what it was? Okay, now what was the first type of construction jobs that you and your company was involved in? I know y'all do a whole lot of things, but what was those things that you initially did?
We pretty much did one groundbreaking from the ground up. We did the foundation all the way to the finished product.
Okay, all right.
And most times we are not a huge general contractor, but we got subs that help do the miscellaneous stuff that we're not capable of doing right now.
Okay, that's cool. We're going to come back to that. Now, Miss Nikki, how did you get into the modeling business? What?
Well, modeling is not something that I was, I guess, estranged from. When I was in high school, my mom put me and my sister in the JCPenney modeling school. But at that time, I was a young teenager. I thought that hanging out with my friends and was way cooler than being under lights, camera, action. So I didn't do it for a very long time. And we have daughters, and so I always teach them how to, when they walk into a room, learn how to command it. Hold your head up high, never look down. Hold your shoulders back. Even if you're not feeling that, they just walk like you mean it, And so I don't know which kid said it first, but they was like, "Mommy, why don't you model anymore?" And I was like, I was like, you know what? They had said it enough times, so there was actually a model call that I saw online, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I did the model call, but I wasn't successful at that first try. I got that no email, but also in that pipeline, you know people along the way, and I believe it was Jason Cords, Jason Cords Photography.
I know Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, "Hey, Nikki, this lady that owns a bridal shop, she's looking for models to walk and model her clothing." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I did that. And lo and behold, the agency that told me no the weekend prior was at that fashion show.
Okay. All right. As fate would have it, y'all. Okay.
So afterwards, she was like, "Hey, she came and talked to me, and she's like, here's my card." And I was like, and I just kind of looked at her, and I was like, she really doesn't even remember me. And I was like,
she does.
I was like, well, I said, I did your model call last weekend, and I got a no. And she said, really? Well, we're going to fix that right now. And she immediately got on the phone, called her assistant, and turned my no into a yes. Wow. And that was in 2016? Yeah, 2016. And here I am, still doing it.
All right, so am I to understand that your mom, who wanted to develop her daughters, encouraged you guys through some kind of training to be able to understand how to model? And as a result of that, then you kind of grew into an interest in modeling. Now, was it modeling first, or was it photography, then it led to modeling? Which way did this thing go?
It was probably fashion first.
Okay.
I probably should be embarrassed to say this, but my wardrobe is so, I don't know, diverse.
Okay.
Let's use that word. Diverse,
yeah, let's use that word.
That I had to use the contractor, just say when, to build me a closet onto the house.
Okay.
An additional closet.
Okay.
So I've always been into fashion. I've been throughout my career, I've always had to dress up. So that's where I'll just express myself and putting different things together that don't normally go together.
Right.
Nickname network as Hollywood or Fashion Plate or Miss America.
Okay. All of the above, y'all.
It kind of started with fashion in itself. And then who doesn't like take pictures?
Okay. I mean, who doesn't,
Right?
Everybody likes a picture or two, right? Okay. Who doesn't? All right, so Mr. Johnny, we've got this company now. And what was the name of the first company you started?
Just Say When.
Just Say When. And what were the types of work that you guys began to do with Just Say When?
We did numerous house renovations and add-ons and a lot of concrete work.
Okay. Now, I heard you say that in cases where you did not necessarily in-house have people with the expertise, you would then go and partner with others who had that expertise.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes you were bidding on a job, not necessarily because you felt you could do it, but you knew some people who could do it. And you,
definitely,
man, I tell you what,
it's all about the collaboration in this business.
Man, I tell you what, ain't Mr. Johnny something, y'all? And a lot of times what happens is people shy away from doing things because they don't necessarily know how to. Mm-hmm. But it's through the thought process and through the collaboration with other people, we are able to do it. I mean, an example is I take my clothes to a dry cleaning now that they have the machines inside the facility. So I know they are doing the work themselves. But typically in a dry cleaning business, they are what you call a take in and a pass out. You don't see any machines, and that's because a guy rides around in a van, picks up all the clothes, and take it to a large facility, clean it, bring it back. But you don't care. All you care about is the fact that your clothes is clean and is back when they promised it to you.
Sir.
Right.
So what you're saying is that you didn't want to be a pass-through and only do some things. You decided that the best way for you to expand your business is to be able to get other people to work with you.
Yes, sir.
And you found that to be successful.
Oh, yeah, unity.
Okay, now, we know everything ain't good all the time. So now, let's talk about this. How do you manage a situation if a contractor should not do according to the bid proposal? How would you handle a situation like that?
But most times, over the years, we built a reputation.
Right.
And that's why I tell a lot of people your name is important.
Right.
And most times, the people that I dealt with, past and the present, their name are good.
Okay.
So it's hard to believe, but most times when we do stuff like that there, it go as planned.
Okay.
So I know it's, some people say it's ups and downs, but
right.
how we built both brands, Just Say Win and Global, we built it on, for one, integrity.
Right.
And the promises of our work. So therefore, when we say we could do it, we do it. We do it.
We do it. Okay. Now, how do you market your construction company? What methods do you use? And either of you can answer the question. I mean, I'm asking you, but the lovely wife can answer that question too. So because she may be the one that's doing it or whatever.
She does a lot on the marketing side because I'm pretty much what you call the owner operator. So therefore, I'll be out in the field, but she do all of the.
Okay.
So
well, Miss Nikki, how do you market the construction business, your construction business? What methods do you use to do that?
Well, you know, Mr. Goodman, a lot of it's word of mouth.
Okay.
If it's kind of like how your grandparents used to say, what's the saying? When they see one thing happen and somebody else want it done, he could be out on a project doing somebody's porch. Right. And the neighbor's like, oh, well, I always wanted the porch too. So they come over, they get his card. And for a long time, it was just a chain reaction. He went and did one project. Somebody saw that project. He did that one. Somebody may have went over to that client's house and said, hey, oh man, I like this work. Who did it? Just say when. So then they would give us a call. We get the quotes out. And I'm going to say 9 out of 10 times when we put out a quote, they want that work done, and we got that business.
Whoa! Ain't that something?
And that's just favor and grace of God.
There it is.
Nothing that we have done personally, but it's just the favor of God that rests on our lives. Okay. And then outside of that, I do use Facebook as a platform to advertise. Hey, if you need XYZ done. Just Say What doesn't have a Facebook page, but Global Contracting does. Okay. We're working on that. We were just focusing on global for the moment because that has really taken off this year. Okay. So we are really, just focusing and pushing on global right now. But if anybody needs any renovations, storm drain, land clearing, I mean, basically anything in construction, you name it, even if you call us and we don't know about it, we definitely know somebody in that industry that can get it done for you.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. All right, we are just about out of the time, so I'm going to begin to land this plane. So, Miss Nikki, what's next for you and your endeavor as a model, as a brand ambassador, as an actress, and, et cetera, et cetera? What's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I got a couple of projects coming up. I'll be shooting next weekend a video with Donna J and Colors and a host of other people. There's a couple of model shows that are coming up that I'm working with. I work with Elle Sky. I'm one of her brand ambassadors. So we got a couple of shows coming up, and I think it's in Columbia or somewhere in that area. So if you check my Facebook page, which is Anika Rich, you'll be able to see anything that I have going on there. Instagram is the same thing. It's also Anika Rich. And as far as acting goes, just a video. I don't have any movies that I'm in production right now, but I am featured in a couple that are coming out with Geechee One Films production, where Felicia Rivers is the director. So I guess look out for Pieces. I'm in that, and a couple of others. I just don't remember the titles right now, but keep looking out, and you'll see when those hit the market.
Mr. Johnny, sir, with all that you have going on now, what's next for you with your 2 construction company? How do you see them developing into what's next? What's next?
What's next is the focal point. We want to leave a legacy not just for our family, but for others also.
Okay.
We want to incorporate pretty much both companies. That way we can pretty much give back in a way to help others also while they help us.
Okay.
So therefore, we just want to make a huge brand and a huge statement out there for everybody. That way we know that we are here to help not just our family, but pretty much the community. That was the biggest reason I want to give the opportunity to young men that didn't have the opportunity elsewhere, that we can take them in under our umbrella and give them a chance to learn something new and to go places.
How do we contact? I'm sorry, go ahead.
And to be successful.
And be successful.
Yeah.
Now, how do we contact you, sir, if we need constructional services, land clearing or whatever, et cetera, et cetera?
Pretty much you can contact me at Jonathan Walker at 843-991-6847, or you can get in contact with the CEO, my wife, Nikki Walker, 843-696-1850. Also, we have email address. It's justsaywinllc@gmail.com.
Give me that email again, sir.
It's justsaywinllc@gmail.com.
Give me that phone number again, sir.
843-991-6847, and also 843-696-1850.
Social media?
No social media on
Website?
Just Say Win. Website is Global Contracting Solutions, LLC.
All right. Ms. Neek, you giving us your contact information and what you're doing. Mr. Johnny has done the same. Is there anything, guys, before we exit out, you want to say?
No, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Goodman, for having us this talk with us today, to allow us to expose the brand, because sometimes we don't reach everybody. Everybody doesn't see everything that we do.
Right.
So this hopefully will hit the community, and they'll be like, we're a black-owned, woman-owned business for Just Say Win, and Global Contracting is black-owned, woman-owned, and veteran-owned. So yeah.
Okay, Mr. Johnny.
I just want to say thanks for the opportunity, sir.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you guys for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said in the beginning, they obviously know what the hell they're talking about, and more importantly, they know what the hell they're doing. So you should come to that conclusion as I did before I even brought them on. In that note, and on that note, I'm going to say thank you, and cousin, take us out of here. All right.